Okay, you did it. Welcome back. This is part 2 of ForeverGreen compensation plan training. Now, I want to go over here, we just talked about in part 1 how with as few as 157 people, we're earning just a little over $3,000, or I'm sorry, just under $3,000. So, and you can have as many legs because this does mimic a unilevel. So similar to a unilevel, you can have as many legs as you're capable of building and supporting. However, let's just look at what would happen if one leg went down 5 generations. I showed you 3, right? 3 doing to 300. We were just shy of $3,000. But of course, we're going to get some exponential growth going as it goes downward. If you did that, you would earn, just on that one leg, $12,000, and that's at a minimum. You would earn $12K, and here's what gets really exciting. There's only requires 780 people. The numbers that it would take in a unilevel or binary to earn 12K would astound you. They're quite large. 780 people to earn 12K. Now remember, there's no limit. You can build, you can have as many of these as you're capable of building and supporting. But here's what's very unique about this. There's no other company that I'm aware of that allows you to earn on one leg. Why do I say that? Because most compensation plans have such stringent requirements. Let's look what those are. In a unilevel, here's what would happen. In order to get paid down, say on your 4th level, you might have to have 2 organizations each doing, say, $1,000. To get paid down on your 5th level, you might have to have 3 organizations that have achieved certain rank, and now the number goes up, and it might be $3,000. And then to get down on the 6th, well, you get the picture. This is the obstacle portion of what happens in compensation plans. To get paid down here, you have to have very stringent requirements in order to access these lower levels. And that's where the real money is, down here in these lower levels, because there's inevitably going to be more people. So ForeverGreen came along and said, well, hold on. That's an obstacle that doesn't need to exist. We want to have one requirement. Let's just get rid of all of this stuff that keeps people from making money and have one requirement. And that requirement would simply be that you have to have 1,500 in group volume on your first level. So that means everybody that's on your first level contributes to that 1,500. Now here's what's really cool. It has nothing to do with how much the individual has. Let's say that's 5 people doing 300, that's 1,500, 10 doing 150, that's 1,500. Or you've got your local health food store that does a $1,500 order. That qualifies you. You have a doctor's office that does 1,500. That qualifies you. One requirement, unheard of, never been done before to my knowledge. That gives you everything. That means you can earn 12K on one leg, one organization, by just having that 1,500. None of this other nonsense that gets in the way of doing it. So this is brilliant, as this allows that person to really start tapping in and working with their organization to build out a dynamic team like that. Now, here's what you need to understand. This is not a unilevel. This is a generation program. What the heck is a generation program? Well, that's what we're going to talk about right now. And this is part of lesson 2. Very critical to understand this. So there's you. You brought in Sal. Sal brought in Tony. Tony brought in Maria. Maria brought in Jose. Jose brought in Kathy. Kathy brings in Robert. Robert brings in Bill. And Bill brings in Sally. Okay. Now Sally brings in her sister Betty and her friend Sam. Okay? Sam and Betty do 300. Sally's doing 300. What's a generation? Watch what happens. Sal's doing 100, Tony's doing 110, Maria does 125, Jose 125, Kathy 100, Robert 100, Bill does 115. They are not a generation. Your first generation, this is the bottom right here. All of these people encapsulate one generation. You're getting paid on all of them. In a unilevel, you would already be down. It's over. That line is cooked. Everything under here, you don't get paid on. And look what you had to do to even get down there. You had to jump through so many hoops. The only hoop to jump is right here. 1,500 on your first level. You're now able to earn on 5 generations. So, Sally is your first. Sam, let's say, duplicates something like this. In other words, his line goes down before he hits his first generation. There are 7 or 8 people that are not qualified. They're not doing the qualification number, which is 150 and 450 on your first level, or 300 and 450 on your first level. So now, what's happening is that Sally is the first generation. You're getting paid on all of them. Sam now is the bottom of your second is Sam, because he's got this one line going down like this as well. Down on the 8th for him, he has somebody that forms his first generation, the bottom of your second. You have 3 more to go. Guys, I can't tell you how powerful this is, because what it does is a unilevel is static. It pays down this many levels, you got to go through this many hoops to get to it, but a generation plan is dynamic. There is no telling how many it can go down. It could be 10, 20, 30 levels down that you're getting paid on. Extremely powerful, and again, one obstacle, and that obstacle can be overcome with as few as one 1,500 point order. And we have people doing that out of health food stores and doctors' offices, and that qualifies them. Everything else is gravy, plus you're earning 20%. So look at the power of this. There's no limit. We don't say you have to stop at 1,500. You want to have $10,000 on your first level, and you're capable of doing that times 20%. That's not a bad monthly recurring income. So phase 2, part 2, generation versus unilevel. Get rid of the obstacles, because again, now what's happening is that allows you to earn on one leg. If you had 5 generations encompassed right in this one leg, meaning everybody's doing it, it just goes down 5, forget all this, you're earning a minimum of $12,000. Now, I told you I was going to blow your mind. I'm just getting started. There's even more. It gets better. But now you got to click on part 3. See you then.